If there's one thing I wish I knew more about, it's cars. I don't know a damn thing about them other than you push pedal down and car go. So I think The Crew 2 could be a good game for me, and I might learn more about...
They need to generate excitement. That's how fans flock to them. And that's what it's all about, right? Become a racer, steal the show, and see your follower numbers soar.
Building followers. Well, this got a bit more meta than I was expecting. We truly live in the social media age, folks. The first game was about going undercover and joining an illegal gang of street racers. And the sequel is about getting them hits, yo! I guess if you can't beat them, join them. Sup, douchebags? Make sure to smash that like button so you can see more awesome shit like this video you haven't seen yet. Also, buy my merch and subscribe. Oh god, I can feel my subs and dignity slipping away. This is The Crew 2, an online multiplayer racing game, which is actually really hard to describe to someone.
So you're playing as the car?
No, I'm the guy in the car.
Oh, so you get to design the guy?
Not really.
Do you get to see the guy?
Not really.
Do you get to run around as the guy?
No, you pretty much stay in the car.
Then what's the point of having a guy?
I don't fucking know. Now, if you're new here, I actually covered the original Crew on my channel a few years back, and I sucked at driving. Whoops, sorry. Pull! Spin! Whoops, wrong way. How did I get a driver's license? But in The Crew 2... Well, some things never change. So this weekend, I played a bit of the beta for The Crew 2. Now, I've always had a bit of a weak spot for racing games. Need for Speed, Cruisin' USA, Oregon Trail. And don't you tell me that wasn't a racing game! You were in a race with dysentery whether you knew it or not. I enjoyed the first The Crew game quite a bit more than I expected to, and The Crew 2 seems technically better in every way. However... I'll get into my concerns in a bit. So instead of just being cars and motorcycles, The Crew 2 has upped the ante with boats and planes. Finally, you can race on land, sea, or air. And you can switch at the drop of a hat. That's cool. The Crew 2 takes place in the mythical world of the United States of America, where every vehicle isn't an SUV or a truck. It's a very fictional place. This version of the good old US of A is also shrunk down to a more manageable size. On this map, you'll also find several events for you to do all across America, of which there are 4 main ones: street race, off-road, boat, and plane. They have different names, but that's what they are. The events for each vehicle, at least in beta, seem to vary between races, time trials, and doing stunts. Each one has a criteria for winning, whether it be rank, time, or points. Fulfill the criteria, and you'll be awarded some loot, which seems to go by the MMO color standards for rarity. These pieces of loot increase your vehicle's performance so that you can do harder races. Oh my god, it's a gear grind! I don't get it. You're originally given one of each type of vehicle for free, but you can eventually buy new ones with the money you earn from events. Just be careful to make sure what type of vehicle it is. I was super excited to buy a 67 Shelby. I was gonna race the shit out of that thing, only to find out it's a drifting car. Dear God, stop drifting! No car drifts that much! Also, I don't think any car can do that. But that's a different story. Now, as for my main concern with The Crew 2, if I remember correctly, in the first game, it was pretty clear what you could do and needed to do for each of the events scattered throughout the world. In The Crew 2, I felt a bit lost. Other than the main quests, which are huge icons on the map, I couldn't quite figure out where to go or what to do. And being an open world game, you think, yeah, that makes sense. But yet somehow The Crew 2 felt less open. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I missed a tutorial somewhere, but I had no clue what all of these smaller symbols on the map were. And even when I got to them and saw what they were named, I had no idea what I was supposed to do with them. Take this one for example. It mentions drifting, so I drifted around it. And... nothing. I just don't get it. I did happen to figure a few of them out, but these seemed very secondary to the main events, which ends up making me question the open world aspect. That said, the beta didn't seem to have a lot of the multiplayer aspects available, so maybe that adds to the open world part of it, I don't know. I'd be interested to see how all of these things come together in the final product, and hopefully they end up explaining things better or I figure out what I missed, because I think The Crew 2 has potential to be a good racing game. It looks really good, it controls well, it performs well, and overall it just seems to be a good racing game. I'm just not sure yet until I see how it all ties together. So maybe I'll come back to this one later. Until then though, don't drink and drive, people, even in video games. And that was The Crew 2. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. I've also put another video for you to watch right up here. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, or Twitch for my weekly live streams. And if you really want to help the channel, you can donate to me on Patreon like these other amazing people. Maybe one of them can teach me about cars.